celebrating because the people are uh, Hispanic. Well, I'm not really even celebrating, but I understand the need for law and order, and I understand that what makes America great is the fact that we are a nation of laws. And regardless of your color, though I may have a bias towards one way or the other, I am not going to stand in the way of the law or the laws, plural, that made this country great, um, being enforced, even if that means getting black, illegal, criminal, alien migrants out of the country. So you knew the risk you were taking when you came over illegally. So you're going to have to accept the consequences as the law is enforced and ICE is dragging your butt up out of here. The biggest thing about all this for me is how you have American citizens who are legal. And this isn't even a basically type of thing. You have American citizens who are legal who are going as far as to call for armed resistance. Listen, armed resistance to ICE as they come in to enforce the law at the order of the president. And that for me, guys, that is where I personally draw the line. You could say what you want to say, you can protest, you can uh you can make it heard, make you can express how much you do not like what's going on and how you do not approve of what's going on. But when you are telling people that they need to pick up weapons and fight ICE, that's a problem. And the only reason I'm talking about this is because this is the second time I've heard someone who's not black, by the way, tell people they need to pick up a gun and go after ICE. I mean, I'm not making that up. This is the second time I've heard it. And what I do, I like to warn people ahead of time. Don't do that. Do not make this a government versus the people shooting war. You don't care about it that much. You're not going to let these illegal immigrants live with you. That's how I know you don't care about it that much. You have no means to take care of all these people, even if you wanted to. And these people have a country to go back to shape in whatever image that they want it to be in. If you ever notice certain countries, the immigration from those countries into the United States is very low, like China. Well, that's because China, instead of saying, let's screw our people over and let the United States worry about them by sending them over there, China actually has some national pride. They're like, look, we might not be the best country on earth, but we're working to improve the lives of our citizens to some degree. And we work hard to keep them in this country so that they can basically build the country that they want to see. Mexico, on the other hand, Venezuela, all these South American and Central American countries, they don't seem to have that same desire. The rich over there are basically like, let's screw everyone over, and the people who we don't want to deal with, let's just send them out to America. That is not the way this is supposed to go. I'm definitely gonna get to the agents shooting the TikToker. That guy is absolutely nuts. He's an idiot. But what do you expect is gonna happen when you're creating a situation where you're emboldening people through social media to physically resist ICE? And I'm telling you, they are now telling people to pick up guns and engage with ICE agents. I'm gonna let you see it right here.
An illegal migrant expected in court today, charged with assault on a federal officer after immigration agents tried to capture him in Los Angeles. Take a look. DOJ says he rammed his car into agents' vehicles when he was boxed in, sending smoke and debris into the air and causing the car to fishtail. An agent then opened fire, wounding the suspect and a U.S. Marshal with a ricocheted bullet. Neither of them seriously hurt. Suspect, known on TikTok as Richard L.A., he regularly follows ICE agents during their operations. Criminal defense attorney Josh Ritter joins me now. Josh, social media bravado against law enforcement has definitely ratcheted up into real world violence. How can prosecutors use this case to set an example?
Well, I think they need to charge him with something far more serious. The idea that he's being charged with assault on a federal officer and he's looking at potentially as much as 8 years in federal prison is not enough, in my view. I think there's an argument that he could easily be charged with attempted murder in this case. He weaponized his vehicle. He used his vehicle as a weapon. He could have easily killed someone, killed an innocent bystander. The officers firing off bullets in response to protect themselves could have harmed someone else. Easily someone could have ended up dead here. So I think if they want to set an example, if they want to let others know how seriously they're taking this, then they need to charge him seriously.
This is a guy that obviously stirs the pot on social media. But I want you to listen to another activist. And not only is this somebody who also stirs up the rhetoric on social media and the like, this is a Los Angeles school teacher teaching the children of Los Angeles who also received a human rights award from the folks at the California Teachers Association. Listen.
This is South Central Los Angeles. They are not the only ones with guns in this city. And I don't say that because we're calling for violence. I'm saying that because the people have every right to defend themselves against masked, unidentified gunmen with AR-15s and other military rifles. The people have every right to defend themselves. That's not violent, that's intelligent.
He does not.
He should be arrested immediately. That guy should be arrested immediately. He's a school teacher in LA County, and he's telling people, I don't want to hear, I'm not telling people to pick up a gun and go kill. He is giving people all the language they need to justify someone getting up and going and use weapons against ICE. He should be arrested immediately. Please, someone contact President Trump. That guy's name won't be hard to find, and get this guy out of the schools. He needs to be fired. He's going to be fired in the next couple of days, I'm sure. He's going to be fired in the next couple of days. But this is LA. LA, this is democracy. Listen, look, you got a bunch of Hispanics. We're in democracy, majority rule. If they could change the law to make these people legal tomorrow, they would do it. Right? They say, oh, it's not about race. And you're right. On the government side, it's not about race. But on the Hispanic side, it is about race. They could deny it all they want to, but as soon as you go to jail, what do? They start dividing up based on race, and using the strength in numbers to intimidate and take control of the situation. See, a racist is always going to try to call somebody else a racist first, right? They're going to call you a racist because they're going to project their thinking onto you. That guy, now, mind you, ICE is made up primarily in California of Hispanic guys. So you can't say ICE is operating in a racist way. ICE is enforcing the laws of America. The same way the Mexican soldiers enforce the laws of Mexico, and they get people who are not Mexican citizens out of the country, right? So it ain't about race, okay? You're literally just trying to turn this into a shooting war. And 9 times out of 10, I would question whether or not that guy's being funded by one of these drug cartels. Because the idea is to create chaos. And once you create chaos, the government has to use a heavy hand. Then the people get scared, including conservatives. They vote for liberals who are like, yeah, we're going to let the chaos happen. And then guess what? The drug cartels get to bring more drugs, more narcos into America. This is exactly what happened under George Floyd. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to create the same environment or an even worse environment than what was created after the death of George Floyd, right? And because they know that in that environment, that strikes fear into people. And some people will either not vote or vote for the other side just because they don't want to have a lot of drama and issues, right? There are Republicans who voted for Biden after George Floyd and after the Summer of Love because they were like, I'm just tired of all the bullshit that's happening under Trump. They didn't think it was Trump's fault. They just understood that, like, yo, if we vote against the Democrats, they're gonna send their political gangs into the cities, and they're gonna go off and burn shit down, and they might burn my business, right? That is the same exact environment, even worse, that they are trying to create right now. That guy told people to pick up guns and told them that it's their right to fight the American government. You do have a right to fight the American government if they violate your rights as a citizen. But you do not have a right to fight the American government if they are enforcing the laws that have been put in place by the U.S. Congress to defend the sovereignty of this country. This is what's going on. And there's some crazy person who's going to listen to that crap, and they're going to use that as incentive to go get a gun and go out and hurt somebody. Remember, there was already one shooting where a guy did like a sniper attack on ICE. And the crazy thing is he actually hit illegal immigrants, killed 2 of them. You don't even play around with language like that. Juan, or whatever this dude's name is, dude, you are a school teacher. You're going to talk all that tough talk, and you're going to take your ass back to work on Monday, collecting your check from that white man money that you claim to be fighting against, right? But you're going to try to encourage someone else to do it. They ain't no different than these bums who run these gangs, where they don't want to spend the rest of their life in jail. So they don't go do the crime. What they do is they go convince some young, gullible teenager to go do the crime for them. That's all he's doing. He's a bum. His teacher's license or whatever it is should be stripped immediately. And he should never work in this town again. I don't even want that dude operating a taco cart. But what do you expect in a city where the people who are supposed to be protecting us, they're giving thugs like Richard L.A., plaques in recognition from the city for basically going around and harassing ICE agents as they do their job. Richard L.A. himself is an illegal immigrant. Now, do you understand that he is an example of the lies that they tell about ICE? Because Richard L.A. is an illegal immigrant, but he's not being deported. Well, because he's not doing crime. That's the difference. He probably has not received deportation orders. He's probably not out here moving drugs or beating up his wife or being the leader of a gang. So they're not really worried about Richard L.A., right? So he's able to literally follow ICE and harass them. But he got so turned up that he actually used his car in an attempt to assault ICE agents, and now they didn't put belt to ass on Richard, and now everybody's complaining. So these agents are supposed to just let these degenerates attack them and not do anything about it. That's absolutely nuts, if you ask me. That's absolutely crazy, if you ask me. Yeah, he got some balls. He about to get deported too.
I get to qualify how we feel about a statement like that. If we feel it is calling for violence, then it's pretty clear it is. So at what point does speech like that rise to the level of speech that is not protected by the First Amendment because it ultimately does incite violence?
It's when it does exactly what you just said, when it incites violence. I mean, listen, the First Amendment is a huge protection, but it's not limitless. You know, we've all heard the example. You can't yell fire in a crowded theater, where you also can't encourage others to commit violence against law enforcement. I mean, this is incredible.
So I want to highlight this comment real quick. So Junie Zone, he decided to pull his brain out of his head and put it in his back pocket. When is belt ass going to be put on white illegal immigrants? Okay, find the white illegal immigrants who are breaking the law. Because Richard L.A. is an illegal immigrant. Why hasn't ICE arrested him and deported him? Well, he's not doing crime. He is proof positive that ICE is targeting people who do crime. Because if they were targeting people other than that, right? Richard L.A. would have been deported a long time ago. Bro is famous as hell on TikTok. So you can't say, well, they're taking law-abiding citizens and deporting them, like what they've been lying saying. And Richard L.A. is literally following them around every day for weeks, and he has not been deported. If the white illegal aliens or citizens are committing crime, get them out. Get them out. But you cannot tell me that these people are being attacked based on their race, and they're being attacked just based on because they're Hispanic, or they're being deported just because they're illegal, when there are illegals following them around every day. Every day. And they're not arresting those people. But y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all don't want to hear that. And what I noticed with this channel, with these people who watch this stuff, once you start bringing up facts, they leave. Once you bring up evidence of that what they're saying is bullshit, they leave. And that's okay, because this channel is based on the truth, not based on the lie that you want to use as an excuse to go do crime. Because let me tell you something. When you're laid out in the street dead, you're going to wish you listened to somebody. Trust me, when that bullet hit your body, all truth is going to be revealed to you. And the universe is going to open up. The heavens is going to open up. And at that moment, you're going to have to come to terms with whether you were out there doing it because you truly had a heart for these people and you saw people getting violated, or if you were out there because you wanted to be exempted from the law. And I don't give a fuck what nobody say. As many decades of time that black people have given to these prison systems due to breaking the law, we do crime. We some criminal motherfuckers to a certain extent. I am not going to sit pretty in the United States while anyone is exempted from the law. I'm not sitting here quiet while anyone is allowed to break American law with impunity. Hell no. Hell no. And I don't care if they're black, blue, green, whatever. You're breaking the law. If that's the case, I should be able to go rob you and kill you, take all your stuff, and walk around scot-free. If you want to make it prison rules, if you want this to be the Wild Wild West, let's make it the Wild Wild West for real. Let's make it the Wild Wild West for real. Because you think the narcos are scary? Have you met the ignorant Negro who has been unleashed? Narco ain't got shit on African warlords. Trust me, we know how to get crazy too. Don't come to America knowing that we are beholden to laws that keep us from getting funky with you, and then you try to come at us and try to play like we soft or something. No. You ever heard of Joseph Kony? You ever heard of Idi Amin? Nigga, we will eat you. Straight up. And that's not even an exaggeration. You ever heard of barbecue, nigga? We could get crazy too. But we abide by these laws because we want to live in a peaceful society. We don't want it to look like Mexico up over here. You're truly a bitch, because if you so gangster, and you want to pick up a gun to fight the United States government, why don't you go over there and fight Sheinbaum in the narcos and the drug addicts that she got running the government? See, it's all just this fake Tommy Tough guy shit. And it's very feminine. It's like a woman who know you can't hit her back or you're going to go to jail, so she's the toughest thing in the room. Let's not play that game, because if we gonna let some cousins come up here, look, bro, I'm part Fulani. I got some cousins for your ass. And they ain't talking about no fisticuffs. They slaughtering niggas in the north of Nigeria right now. And I bet you they'll be happy to come over here and take all y'all shit. Don't play. Do not play. Y'all not the only ones who got some real deviant motherfuckers sitting in the background, ready to tear shit up. Believe me. Because we can go clear out Liberia and bring on, if you really want to think about it, Liberians in Africa got way more rights to America than anybody from South or Central America. They're literally our blood. If you want to get a history lesson, don't play the tough guys stuff. Let the tough guy shit go. Because if we gonna get funky, let's just go ahead and let all them Congolese niggas and all them Rwandese and all them dudes in Liberia and Togo and Haiti up in this bitch. And y'all gonna be begging somebody not to get up in your ass. Don't play. Don't play with us. If I go red coat, whatever. But I'm just saying, it's like, how dare you try to tell somebody to pick up a gun against somebody in America? How dare you do that? That's a cowardly act. Like, there's a, look, man. You don't even know. You don't even know. You don't even know the shit that's out there. You in a lake right now. It's an ocean somewhere with some bigger, meaner, crazier, more desperate sharks than you are. Than you think you are. Nah, these gangs ain't got shit on, you know what I'm saying? But I know what you mean, Glock to talk. But no, you don't ever tell anybody to pick up a gun against law enforcement. Those are people too. They out here trying to survive just like you. And they're doing their job. I get tired of these little drug, these narco sympathizers and stuff. Like, bro, y'all think y'all the only ones who ready to wreck some shit? Y'all are allowed to operate the way you do because of the protection of the United States government. Stop playing. Because there's African countries that'll take every country in South America without barely no effort. Trust me. You think Venezuela is beating Rwanda and Nigeria in a war? Hell no. So yeah, America's the best. That's why everybody want to come here. But it only remains the best if you have some type of weeding out process of the people or vetting process of the people who want to come into this country. These people are fighting for open borders. They want the whole North and South America to just be like, oh, you could just walk across. They want it to be like the European Union. It ain't going to be like that. Let's keep going.
To me, how reckless it is, because these officers are out there doing an incredibly difficult job, and it's obviously potentially very dangerous, and they're trying their best to do it by preserving the safety of others, including those that they're detaining. And when you've got someone who's out there encouraging others to weaponize themselves, you're going to get this kind of conduct that we're talking about today, where somebody uses a vehicle. They don't need a weapon in the car. They don't need a gun in the car to cause harm and potentially death to others. If they're incited to this kind of action by the kind of words that you just played for us, it's incredibly reckless.
Yeah, and I wonder at some point if the DOJ needs to make an example out of these individuals, not to quell free speech, but to stop violence, because ultimately that's what the DOJ is there for. Before we let you go, the suspect accused of attempting to rape and murder a jogger on a Florida trail just had his bond revoked after he posted a video on social media that the judge said was meant to intimidate a witness. That, of course, violates the conditions of his release.
That's the story we're going to actually cover tomorrow. But right now, that was just in L.A. They're calling for, there's a teacher of all people, calling for people to confront ICE with weapons. They ain't the only ones with guns. That's what he's saying. but then he wants you to believe that he meant that in the most peaceful way possible. Now we have to move over to Nick Shirley's page because he is right now in real life streaming and recording what's going on with New York City as African immigrants are the target now. ICE has gone into the New York City Chinatown and they are arresting people who are counterfeit, who are selling counterfeit merchandise. Once again, these are people who are committing criminal acts, right? These are people who are committing criminal acts, and they are now being arrested and deported. And I believe 9 people have been arrested, and I believe that maybe like 7 of them, or five or 7 of them, had orders to like get out the country already. So I'm telling you, oh, how are they finding them? They're going to places where they know people who are supposed to leave the country are. Because what you got to understand is people who are supposed to be out of the country, they hide among other people who are of their same ethnicity, who are either legally in the country or are illegally in the country, but they have not been given orders to leave the country. Why? Because it's like an early warning system. Everybody is kind of looking out for the same thing, right? And ICE goes right in there, walk past the other illegals who may or may not be doing crime, and they get the people they want. But what they'll do is that people who are totally ignorant of how the process goes to deport people and find people, right? They will say, oh, they're doing it based on race. And like I told my friend yesterday, listen, profiling is a part of law enforcement. Profiling is a part of law enforcement. If you don't want to be profiled, or if you don't want to deal with profiling, then you need to go to a lawless third world country where somebody could just knock you in the head and take everything you got, and they're not going to be held accountable. Because if somebody said, hey, a black dude broke in a house and murdered up a whole family, and he was 6'2", 185 pounds, you know what they're going to do? They're going to go round up a bunch of black dudes who are 6'2", 185 pounds, and they're going to do something that's called a lineup, where the victim gets to look and see if any of these people is the guy who did the crime or who violated them, and they'll be able to pick, oh, that's him, that's not him. And the rest will be free to go. You know what that's called? That's called profiling. And it works. And I'm okay with it as long as it's used to keep us all safe. And that's what's going on. Because I want you to tell me, let's put a bunch of dudes in a line, put 10 Africans and 10 Hispanics in a line, and I want you to pick out one, the guy who's the narco drug dealer, and the guy who is the African warlord who fled his country because he didn't slaughter thousands of people. You wouldn't be able to tell. You wouldn't be able to tell. But we got to have somebody for the eyewitnesses to choose from, and that's why profiling is necessary.
We got this lady hitting cars.
They're fucking Nazis. They're abducting people from their homes and their schools and their jobs.
Here in New York City, an ICE raid or an HSI raid just took place here in New York.
So this lady said they're fat effing Nazis, right? So now she's fat shaming. So now being fat is a crime to her. That's a sign of like something negative. But if I say, oh, you're a fat effing B, she'll say, oh, you're body shaming me. These people, man, just watch this video. This video to me is a perfect example of how these people who are out here who are fighting against ICE, they don't even know what they're fighting about. They don't even know what they're out there supposedly fighting for. And this video proves it, without a shadow of a doubt.
New York City on Canal Street, these streets are actually filled with counterfeit scammers. However, ICE or the HSI just came through here and raided and took some of the people away. And just a few days ago, a popular citizen journalist by the name of Savannah Hernandez came through here, showed what's been happening. I myself have even documented this once, as I was once attacked and my cameraman was punched by one of these illegal migrants that was selling goods illegally. And I just caught a phone call from somebody and said, you need to go run over to Canal in Chinatown to see what is taking place. And this is the aftermath of this ICE raid. A raid just took place here in Canal Street in New York City. They came in, you got HSI, looks like you might have ICE out here. and they have taken somebody. It looks like we got a whole group of protesters that just appeared out of nowhere. Look, we have people hitting cars. We got this lady hitting cars. Here we go. What the? They just raided Canal Street, and now you have a whole mob of people taking over the street. You have federal agents right here, HSI. There's a whole lot of illegal activity that takes place on Canal Street. So now everyone's pissed off. Now these federal agents are just walking down the street all by themselves. There's no car or anything. What do you think about what's going on here?
Dude, they're getting mobbed. There was just probably 50 to 100 people that surrounded the cars and were banging on it. It's getting chaos. The agents are freaking out and pushing people out of the way. They're trying to...
There's no car. There's no cop cars here. There's no federal cars.
There's no cars. They're all on their own. Everyone's going freaking haywire.
Look at them. Look. I can't even believe what I'm seeing right now. The feds are literally all on their own right now. What do you think about what's going on here at Canal Street? New York City, what do you think about this? How do you feel about ICE coming in? Feds coming in? Any response?
Come down here no more.
Just keep yelling at the feds?
I got some for you. I don't think so. Some violence.
Now listen to what they're saying. If you say ICE has to go, we don't want you here, all that is fine. You can talk trash until you're blue in the face. But when you start saying stuff like, we got something for you, now you're crossing the line. Now that person is within their right to say, bro said we got something for you, and he reached in his bag, and I didn't know what he had for me, and I blasted his ass. See, that's the problem. They're all out there. They're all out there going after ICE, right? But when a young lady gets murdered and raped, you don't see any protest. I didn't see a single New York protest over the death of Lincoln Riley. I didn't see a single New York protest over the death of Jocelyn Nungary. See, and I know that a lot of these people are paid protesters. I believe it's the ones who are really close to the ICE agents. I believe these are paid protesters because they know exactly how far they can go without being, arrested. Right? She's all, look at this lady. This lady is an actor.
You got this lady yelling at this man. And there's no Fed cars to be seen right now. What race did you guys do? Back up. Okay. You literally have all of these protesters now. They're getting surrounded. And there's no federal vehicles anywhere right now. We're right here outside the federal court. Now everyone's chanting, shame, shame.
Show your face! Come on, what are you scared about? What the f are you scared about?
Now we do have one vehicle. They have feds and they got the guns, they got the snipers, rifles. It looks like they have one vehicle. Has a pepper gun right here. Feds are trying to move down the street.
I'm not even going to lie to you. I totally believe these people are getting paid. They don't even look, they look like they packed the lunch. Like, we're at work, we got to go collect our money from whoever, and in order to collect the money, we have to be out here, pretending like we're going to do something to ICE. That's what I'm saying. But let's skip ahead to where the first arrest took place.
Making an arrest right here. Making an arrest right here. They have one man underneath arrest right here.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go. Support your local ICE raid.
Got his ass.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. We have this arrest going on right here. This is just absolute madness.
Support your local ICE raid.
What makes you so passionate about this right now?
Get the f out of my face!
Why?
They're fat fucking Nazis. They're abducting people from their homes and their schools and their jobs, and they know what they're doing is wrong, and they don't give a shit because they're heartless monsters.
The people are upset. Look at it. You have feds coming through here. They got rifles. Yes, sir. I got you. They have pepper.
These people need to get a Razzie Award. They're actors, it's obvious, and they're bad at it. That girl was looking around to see how many people had cameras pointed at her while she was screaming what she was saying. They're fat effing Nazis. She just was like saying anything. Hey, go out there, act crazy, get up in the face of ICE, don't touch anybody. You're going to get a $200 check.
Ball guns right here as well. Now they're trying to go inside of the federal court building. Right there is the federal court building. Wow. This lady just pushed the dress. Yes, sir. Oh. Now they have just arrested the girl who I was just barely interviewing. She's underneath arrest right now.
Bruh, she's literally trying to record herself as she's been dragged to the ground by... You can't make this shit up. She's trying to record herself screaming as she's being dragged to the ground by ICE. But they're trying to create something that looks horrific. They know what to do. It's like Martin Luther King back in the 60s. You know, they were like, hey, get bust in the head because the camera's going to catch you getting bust in the head. And when it goes on TV, televisions all over America, people are going to sympathize with the civil rights movement. And it works. It works. Her screaming, nobody doing nothing to that lady, but she's going to scream at the top of her. She's going to scream bloody murder. But I wonder if Lincoln Riley screamed like that while the illegal immigrant who Joe Biden led into the country without vetting them murdered her, right? Listen to those screams and wonder how Lincoln Riley must have screamed. Wonder how Jocelyn Nungery must have screamed. Wonder how the women who live in the apartments that Trinde Aragua is taking control of. I wonder how they must scream when they're being taken advantage of. See, it's I want you to suffer so I can feel better about myself by pretending I'm I'm more of a virtuous person than everybody else. So let's look at this Colombian lady.
How do you feel about these ICE raids taking place here in New York City?
They can go themselves. I am a grandchild and the daughter of an immigrant. I don't give a They would take me away if they could. Them.
Are you legal here?
Yeah, man.
And why do you have to worry?
It's not about me. I'm not worried about me at all. I'm worried about all my brothers and sisters here who are trying to be legal, who are trying to do their jobs, who are trying to work for a better life. This is not fucking okay.
Do you really believe that, lady? I mean, I want give me some real comments give me some comments in the comments. Do you really believe these people? These people are crying with no tears. These people have an issue with authority. They're mad because Donald Trump won the presidency. So now they're going to get out there and act crazy every chance they get with virtue, in the name of virtue signaling. These people don't give a damn about anybody. Tell that girl to miss her pedicure appointment to go help an illegal. She won't do it. My grandparents, I'm the granddaughter of illegals. Yes, legal immigrants. Legal immigrants. You're not the granddaughter of a damn drug dealing pedophile murderer. That's the difference. But you want Americans to just say, oh, every illegal is the same. I mean, every immigrant is the same. That's not the case. That's not the case. Man, that lady, bro, how you crying with no tears? How are you crying with no tears? That's my only question. How are you crying with no tears? I don't see one tear on this lady's face. Let's zoom in. I see nothing. Nick Shirley camera ain't that bad. She's not crying. This is an act. I'm looking all in this lady's face. This is an act. Like you said, Luke Perry, we're in the viral age where people will do anything to get a viral clip. And Nick Shirley, look at him rolling his eyes. He like, oh my God. She's making Nick nauseous. She's making Nick nauseous. But I want to go to where we're going to go speed ahead because there's actually people out there who are in support of ICE. But, wait, let me get to the. So NYPD comes, they're not going to be like Chicago, right? Where they're just going to keep the PD from coming to help protect the ICE agents from the people. Look at this.
That's right. Don't look at me anymore.
Shame! Sorry, tough guy. I'm sorry. You must be real afraid right now.
Now we got these protests.
Guys, these people look like they're on an episode of Friends. This is not real. This is not real. Look at this guy with this mustache looking like Zach Galifianakis.
Protesters going after.
Galifianakis ends with a. It starts with. Is it Galifianakis? I forgot his name, but you know what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry.
I do. This guy wore Bugle Boy to come fight ICE. These people are paid protesters. No, you thinking of Andy Milonakis, but Zach Galifianakis is a guy from The Hangover. Is that his name? Yeah, Zach Galifianakis. Galifianakis. Yeah. Zach. I'm telling you, look dead like him. Andy Milonakis is the kid who's like, you still my T-Dog, right? From Waiting, I think. That dude's funny too. But this guy looks like the guy from The Hangover. There's nothing. Come on, bro.
You're calling these people lunatic liberals now?
Yeah, lunatic liberals here. I mean, look at these people. They don't even know what they're arguing for. It's really a shame. Most people aren't educated.
Look, I love this guy. He's right in the crowd. He's like, these are lunatic liberals, right? Right? And they would try to attack someone like this. They will try to attack people like this. But he calls them lunatic liberals. Watch what he says and watch how this guy immediately proves his point. If you're going to pay attention to one episode or one part of this broadcast, this is the one. Watch what this guy says and watch how they immediately prove his point.
Liberals. I'm sorry.
You're calling these people lunatic liberals now?
Yeah, lunatic liberals here. I mean, look at these people. They don't even know what they're arguing for. It's really a shame. Most people aren't educated. Most people don't know how law enforcement functions work in this country. It's a dear shame. If half these people knew what our laws are of this country and how law enforcement acts and how they're going about this, they wouldn't be this mad. I think it's an education problem.
Right now we have 4 protesters. 3 of them have masks on. They're just yelling at the police.
Yeah, it's.
Now listen to what he said. There's only 4 people yelling. The rest of these people are spectators. These people have their phones out, looking, waiting for some bullshit to happen. They probably got YouTube channels or TikTok channels, and they're waiting for something to jump off. They're trying to convince you that these protests have like thousands of people at them and everybody's against ICE. No, everyone's there, most of the people there, so they can get a viral clip of one of these 4 or 5 people that are tripping, getting arrested, beat down, or trying to beat up somebody. That's it. That's it. This is not no real protest.
It's unexplainable to me. I don't understand it.
Do you think this is a left and right issue, or do you think it's just a law and order issue?
I think it's a law and order issue. I think people don't respect the laws of this country, and this is the outcome of that. It's unfortunate. We should support our law enforcement and everything they do for us on a daily basis. Yeah.
Why do you call him a bootlicker?
Because you give way more of a about the cops than you give about the people. Fuck you, bro.
See, my point proven. Uneducated, they're just angry. It's pure emotion, zero logic from here. They don't know what they're arguing about. They have no idea.
And what are you guys arguing about with the police officers right now?
Bro, if the cops weren't here, I would beat your ass right now.
Really?
Jesus Christ.
See, that's a crime. See, that if I was you'd be arrested, but it's okay. I mean, that's, it is what it is.
What are you arguing with the police about? Why are you so mad? Why are you in the cops' face threatening them? Oh, if the cops weren't here, I would beat your A right now. See what I'm saying? They're just, one, cowards, right? But two, they don't even know how to explain what they're mad about, because I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, they're getting paid to be here. They're getting paid to do this. If the cops were here, I beat your A right now. Bro, he simply asked you a question. And the white guy was like, my point proven. It's all emotion. But you got people online, because the people online are even worse, because they give even less of a F about this situation, because they won't even go out in real life, right? But they talk tough and, oh, so you supporting Trump? And like, bro, listen, everybody's supporting Trump. As a matter of fact, so many people are supporting Trump, they got to pay people to pretend like they're not supporting Trump. Do you think I'm lying? Look at this. Where are all the protesters? Where are all the protesters? It's just that the cameraman is going to keep the focus on that little crowd, and then the crowd dispersed. They took a break. They must have went to lunch, and they'll come back later. Bro, this is such a psyop. This is a psyop on the American people. But 9 people were arrested. 2 of them, I think 3 or 4 of them had already received orders to leave the country. And you get money. You get money for self-deporting, right? Let's play this part.
How do you feel about the feds coming through here in New York City today?
It's a little overwhelming. As you can see, people are not excited about this, you know what I'm saying?
Do you think they should deport people, especially on Canal Street, where they are selling counterfeit goods illegally on the streets?
Bro, I got no comment on that. I can't comment on that, you know what I'm saying? People got to make a living somehow. I don't know. I will say this. America was built on immigrants' backs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I will say that. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think the raid took place today on Canal Street. There's some viral videos that took place there just a few days ago, and then it's been known that it's a place where they do sell counterfeit goods, and it seems like the majority are from Africa, and they are undocumented illegal migrants.
Are those the ones that they locked up?
Yeah, that's who they arrested today.
Oh, man, yeah. I hate to see anybody go to jail. But
I don't. Your ass is illegal. Why are you down there on Canal Street, where it's a good chance that they're going to come down there and look for illegal immigrants to arrest? That's the whole point. You know better. But you don't think, like my granny used to say, you don't think fat meat greasy. You think, oh, it's not going to be you. Not only are you illegal, you're committing a crime. And they're looking for any reason to deport illegal immigrants. So why would you be down there committing a crime? If you don't sell that shit online or hire your legal friend to go work down there for the day, you asking for it. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, bro.
Was actually a person who had been featured on this channel before, and he attacked me and my cameraman as we asked him what he was selling, as he was selling stuff illegally on the streets of Canal Street.
Yo, what's up? We don't do no fucking camera.
Hey.
Fucking pushing.
Hey.
Out of here with that.
He and his gang then jumped us, and one of the men even punched my cameraman.
Hey, I will smash this. Hey. Hey.
And now that man is arrested, and he most likely will be deported back to his home country.
What's your take on
Now look. They just want to make a living. That's cool. You're an illegal immigrant. Why are you trying to tell an American citizen where they can and can't point their camera on a public street in New York City? See, you didn't got, it's like they used to say back in the day, you didn't start smelling yourself. And for some of these dudes, it's literally, right? For some of these African dudes, you didn't start smelling yourself. Because now you came here as an illegal, unwelcome, uninvited guest, right? And people tolerated you and they wasn't tripping on you. But then you got to the point where you feel like you could punch somebody and take their camera while you're in the act of breaking the law. And that's why your ass got to go. That's why you got to go.
The rates going through here today?
I don't know. Honestly, they doing too much, respectfully. Everybody trying to make $1. I understand it might be illegal or whatever, but at the end of the day, people trying to make a living. And y'all coming out of nowhere.
This is one of the first ICE raids that's taken.
It might be illegal or whatever, but y'all coming out of nowhere. Shut up, goofball. This guy, I hate people who try to excuse criminal activity. It might be illegal, but whatever. Could you imagine if black people had separated from white people during the days of the Nation of Islam? Bro, whatever we created over here would have been a straight third world country. Black folks would have been trying to leave that shit, risking their lives to leave it to try to get back into America. Why? Because a lot of black people just have no respect for law and order, and they have no respect for authority. And they have an attitude like, yeah, as long as they ain't doing nothing to me. But what happens when they are doing something to you? Then you got a big issue.
In place here, HSI raid, whatever you want to call it. How do you feel about them coming to the city, the feds?
I don't know, it's terrifying. It's horrible and terrifying, honestly.
And what terrifies you as a white American citizen here?
It's for my other New Yorkers. Like, we gotta worry about everyone in the city, and this is a city of immigrants, and they belong here just as much as I do, if not more, honestly.
This is why we're f***ed up. This is why we mad.
Can see you're upset about what's going on.
Very upset. I went to all these protests, man. I've done so much just to stop this, and they sit here and guard them. That is why I'm mad. I'm not trying to say, f that guy in particular. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to say we got to end this shit now.
They sit here and guard them. Okay, so if they weren't there, what would you be doing, dude? Nothing. The NYPD is there to protect you from them, because they know if you get too emotional and do something crazy, they're going to put you down. That's what the police are there for. They're guarding them from them, because the protest only got 10 people. That's all she's talking about is illegals. She when that lady was like, "Oh, other niggas, bro, let it be a black dude who stole her purse. Lock his ass up." Right? And then this dude is funny because he's not even from New York. He's from California. So you know it's about race.
This gonna keep rolling. This is a fucking snowball, and it's gonna keep getting bigger. When do you stop? When do you say no?
Yeah, so you're talking to NYPD right now. So
I'm
you're
talking to NYPD.
Telling them when do they stop protecting the feds?
Yes. When do they stop protecting Border Patrol? When do they stop protecting ICE? These people are snatching legal citizens. We've seen this happen. This is not a precedent that has not been set. We keep seeing these rights get fucking vanished. These are just wiped clean.
He's just lying. They're snatching legal citizens. You see how these people, they lied to themselves to justify their retarded behavior. Bro, they didn't touch a single legal citizen. Actually, I think some legal citizens did get arrested who had criminal records. Right? They did enforce some warrants. But no legal citizen is getting deported. They just want to be out there screaming because they can't get their way. And there's a difference from having a cause that you are truly passionate about and just being mad because you can't get your way. That's not how America works.
Does it matter to you guys? Do you guys give a fuck about anything? We don't want to be here to piss you as an individual off. We are here to show you that this is not right.
Yes, they give a F about law and order. They give it because the mob that one day is saying we out here fighting the police because we feel so sorry for illegal immigrants. That next mob will say, "Hey, we went in your store and took all your products because we was hungry or we felt sorry for this lady who couldn't afford food." That's how it goes when everything is driven by emotion.
This is why you're facing resistance.
Does it concern you just because you are born and raised New Yorker and you're worried about?
No, I'm from LA.
Okay, from LA.
I'm Mexican, and I hate that my people are just being taken, legal or not.
Now we're to the root
I'm a
of
firm
it.
believer that no human is illegal. It's just humanity. Nobody deserves to be snatched up by somebody in a mask and taken to God knows where. That's not right.
Specifically the things that took place on Canal Street.
Now let me ask a question. So no one's illegal, right? So why don't we just open up all the borders, right? Let the whole world come into the United States, right? Middle East, Africa, China, Mexico, Central America, South America. Why don't we just do that? Why don't we just let everybody come here and it's every man for himself and you get it how you live? Bro, these same wimps who think I don't believe anyone's illegal, they would be crying to the government to get these people out the country. They would be crying to the government to get these people out of the country. I go to Africa all the time, and I would love to live in Africa, but I don't want to go down to Africa and compete with the Africans on that level, the lowest level of existence. I want to go there and be and live at the level which my work in America, which is significantly more gainful than any work in Africa, right? I want to go in there with a strategic advantage based on me being born in the best country on earth. See, the only difference is I'm honest enough and man enough to say that. I'm honest enough and man enough to say that. Because if you cared so much, nothing's stopping you from sending your paycheck over there. And they could be living like kings for pennies on the dollar. Every country deports illegals. Why should we be any different? Guys, don't forget we have a super chat challenge. We are trying to get $10 super chats by the end of the show. So if you can help make that a reality, you can send it via super chat. You can send it via Cash App, PayPal. The links are pinned to the top of the chat. I appreciate it and thank you in advance. But yeah, so these guys sound crazy. Let me listen to what this guy says.
Where they do sell counterfeit goods illegally on the streets. They don't pay taxes. Do you think they should go after people that do that?
They should be prosecuted in our federal state court, not in ICE facilities, not deported. You want justice and order, do it through legal processes in America.
Yeah,
Is that
so
fair?
Now if they arrest them and they go through the legal process, do you support that?
I mean, I'll fight that too, but it's less despicable than what these guys are doing. All these
These guys are idiots. He said in our federal courts. Doesn't he know that ICE is federal agents? And every illegal immigrant's case goes through a federal court? He means they should fight them in the state court, right? But what he doesn't understand is the reason why ICE is in the liberal states and in the liberal cities, pay attention if you don't know why, is because the sanctuary cities and sanctuary states, they have refused to work with ICE. They're purposely doing that. Because the way it's supposed to go is like this. If an illegal immigrant gets arrested for a serious crime, that arrest needs to be reported to ICE. ICE then comes, picks them up, and deports them out the country, usually after they serve their time, right? Once the police departments of liberal cities and liberal states stop cooperating with ICE, that means ICE now has to come into the city and get those illegal criminals out. And that's what they did in Chicago. That's what they did in New York. That's what they did in Portland. That's what they did in LA. The police departments that stopped doing what they're supposed to do with reporting illegal criminals, then ICE had to start coming in. But they did this on purpose because the optics, the Democrats understand that under Donald Trump, the optics, anything that makes it look like the federal government is being weaponized against the people, that helps them in the next election. And when you got people like this dude, he's just ignorant as hell. This guy is a pure goofy. Yeah, he'll run out and vote Democrat with no real understanding of what's going on. Bro called this guy. Hey, I'm laughing because I'm distracted. Why this guy right here behind this dude look like he's about 12 years old? Why do bro look like he like 12 years old? That's crazy, right? But that's what these people do. That's what the Democrats are doing. They're playing on people's ignorance. They're playing on people's ignorance. But hey, it is what it is. It's your job to make sure that you're informed?
Cops.
Okay, so we went through that. That was pretty. Okay, so guys, listen. You still with me? That's a dude. Looks like a dude. All right, so you guys are with me. We're going strong. Let me know when you want me to stop. We in the building, obviously. But we have two more topics that we could. I think one we might have already covered. But guys, and if you have any recommendations on how I can improve the channel to make these live stream videos more entertaining and funner for you, just let me know. I'm listening. I'm not above taking advice and listening to the audience. I mean, you are all the people who are enjoying the content. And I want to make sure that you guys love what you're seeing. We gotta go to this damn bootlicker, Stephen A. Smith. Can you guys believe this dude? Then he's apologizing to Jasmine Crockett. I don't know if you guys know about this, but Stephen A. Smith and Jasmine Crockett been into it. Stephen A. Smith told the pure, absolute, unadulterated truth about how Jasmine Crockett is straight ghetto, and she puts on a ghetto hood rat act, and is very unbecoming of a black woman of her status, who is educated, who knows how to articulate herself, who knows how to communicate, and is articulate. He actually apologizes to this chick. That's absolutely crazy.
Straight.
This is absolutely wild that this guy apologized to this buffoon. But guess what? People talk about the black man being emasculated. People talk about the black woman running the community into the ground. And this is why. This is why. We're apologizing when we didn't even do anything wrong. Why would you apologize for telling the truth? That's my question. Why would you apologize for telling the damn truth? And I know Disney probably got in that ass and was like, hey, you need to get out there and apologize. But come on, Stephen A. Have some spine, bro. Have some spine. Let's go.
Welcome to this special edition of Straight Shooter with Stephen A. That's what I'm going to call this, Straight Shooter with Stephen A, because obviously this doesn't have anything to do with sports. This has a lot to do with a whole brouhaha that's been going on with me over the last few weeks. Now, I will tell you, I apologize for not speaking about this earlier. If you took a close-up of my face right now, you'll see the right side of my face swollen. I had emergency double root canal surgery. And so I've been down and out and drugged up and stuff like that over the last few days, trying to overcome this stuff. But nevertheless, it is what it is. I'm here right now. I wanted to take a moment because I saw something disturbing in regards to President Donald Trump and how he came at Representative Jasmine Crockett. And I wanted to take this opportunity to attack this issue as it pertained to me and Jasmine Crockett, because I personally have had an issue with how things have been misconstrued and misinterpreted. But at the end of the day, I have to own it. And that's what I'm going to do today. And so when somebody says to me, Stephen, rather than point to her and her verbiage and her language and how she talked about the president, what about how he talks? I have no problem with that. I can understand that. And if that is the reason that everybody is in an uproar, that is fine. And I have no problem apologizing to that to my sister, because damn it, I want her to know I don't feel that way about her.
Listen, Jasmine Crockett started the beef with Donald Trump. Jasmine Crockett was an irrelevant politician until she started bringing up Donald Trump's name. Let me make that clear to you. Jasmine Crockett was an irrelevant, do-nothing, lame duck politician before she brought up Donald Trump's name. She is in Texas. The Democrats are a minority in the Texas legislature. She never presented any real legislation ever. She literally was nobody. She actually got to Capitol Hill, and when she got there, she was just as irrelevant there as she was in Texas. So she made a name for herself by attacking Donald Trump. The same way Alvin Bragg made a name for himself attacking Donald Trump, the same way Letitia James made a name for herself attacking Donald Trump, same way Jamal Bowman made a name for himself attacking Donald Trump. And so when it came down to it, when Biden got elected, right, there were some who fell off because the Trump stuff wasn't working no more. But there were some who were like, I'm going to double down on my anti-Trump rhetoric. And they spent 4 years under Biden not working to make the lives of their constituents better, to improve their lives. They spent 4 years bashing Donald Trump and keeping him keeping him at the center of every conversation. And that is how they were able to generate millions and millions of dollars in donations. And that's what Jasmine Crockett is. She is a fundraiser for the Democrat Party. That's it. They don't trust her. She was running to be a part of the leadership in the Democrat Party, and they refused. Her own party members said they did not trust her. They said there's no way she could be a part of the leadership in the Democrat Party when she's constantly jumping on and off planes, going to New York, LA, and all that so that she can bash Donald Trump. So your own party doesn't trust you to be a leader. Your constituents, you don't do anything for them. So what makes you relevant? Talking about Donald Trump. But she's going to try to make it seem, what about what he said? You started it. You asked for it.
Just like I didn't feel that way about Kamala Harris. Just like I don't feel that way about the marvelous, the wonderful, the incomparable, the greatest first lady ever, and Michelle Obama, in my estimation, or anybody else. But what we're going to do on this show is understand who the hell I am and how it's going to be as long as I'm doing this show. I have no problem apologizing if I'm wrong. I have no problem apologizing if I've made somebody feel a certain kind of way. But I'm going to challenge the legitimacy of what people come at me with when I think that challenge is warranted and deserved. If you came to me and you said to me that it came across as a bit dismissive, Stephen, you should have been more protective of her than that because look at how he speaks. Look at how they act on Capitol Hill towards her. I understand that. But when somebody tries to take that to accuse me of being disrespectful or in any way misogynistic, I'm going to push back on that because that's emphatically false. There's no truth to that whatsoever, and I'm not accepting that, and I'm not owning that. I can sit up there and I can look at Representative Jasmine Crockett. Do you know what I think she should be doing? I think she should be competing for the Senate seat in Texas or for the Attorney General spot because she's qualified. I personally think Kamala Harris should have ran for governor of California. Huh. I've said it for the record that if Michelle Obama was running for president, she would have beat Trump, in my opinion.
And that's where Stephen A. proves he's a political neophyte. There's no way in hell Michelle Obama was going to beat Trump in a presidential race. No way. No way in hell. She has no record. Barack Obama's record is horrible. Years later, everything he put in, which was just Obamacare, is terrible. That's why she decided to start a podcast. She has no future in politics. Trust me, they send out polls. They send out polls without anybody knowing, private polling, like in campaign polling. No one's voting for that lady. There's a significant amount of Americans who think she is a man. But he's just doing his little, he's walking it back. right? He's walking it back. 100% facts, the Neighborhood Herald. The boule will always capitulate when the heat is on. That's how the system works. That's why you need black conservatives, because we standing on business. We standing on business. There's black conservatives who will bend the knee, but you're going to have to pay us a lot of money. Stephen A. didn't get nothing. He's just like, he doesn't even need to talk about politics. And he's an American. He has the right to have his own opinion on anything he wants. Why are you walking back your opinion? Because you don't want to offend nobody. Excuse me. These people are offended by everything. They'll find a reason to be offended. Oh, you wore blue shoes. That hurt my feelings. This is how they do. So why even waste your time apologizing to them?
I think she'd have done it. That's how I feel. But somehow, some way, it's never enough for some people out there. I understand. I would advise you to get over it or buckle up, because I'm not going away. This is my show. I will say what I feel and I will do what I want. It doesn't mean I'm going to be insensitive. It doesn't mean that I don't care about our community. A matter of fact, most of the trouble I get in is because I care about our community. And the reason I'm bringing this up and the reason that I'm willing to attack this subject, because this really ain't about Jasmine Crockett. I respect her. I wish her nothing but the best. I was simply asking a question. That's all. What's working for you? Because I don't want her to lose the prowess that she has. I want it to continue to gain and elevate.
She will lose her seat come next election. Here's the thing. Stephen A. Smith is right. The person who truly cares about the community is not the one doing their best impression of a 304 neck swinging and stuff on stage at these different campaign fundraisers. The person who cares about the community is the one who's asking the real questions. Jasmine, how is you constantly attacking Trump helping your constituents? You might need the president to do something for you, help you get some type of legislation passed, right? That benefits your constituents. How are you going to do that if you're constantly bashing the president? You know he can veto anything you say. She puts a bill through. That's a really good bill. And it passes the Senate and it passes the House, right? Do you know Donald Trump can just veto it? He has the executive power to just veto any bill, whether it's good, bad, no matter who it benefits. He can literally just veto. That's it. And he can say, this won't get signed into law until I am no longer in the White House. So as a lawmaker, that's her actual job. You would think her job was just being a Trump hater. But as a lawmaker, right, that is her job, to pass law that benefits her people, the people she represents. But to me, it seems like Jasmine Crockett is not interested in representing anyone except herself. This woman is only focused on me, 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 me. That's it. She'll never be president. She probably will never even make it to a leadership committee, within the framework of Washington. She definitely ain't making sure, she's definitely not making it into any leadership position, like minority speaker or anything minority leader or anything like that, because she doesn't know how to act. You never even heard of Chuck Schumer before he became minority leader, right? But I think minority leader right now is Hakeem Jeffries. You never heard of him either. You know why? Because they lay low. They're going about every day they're going about the job of getting law passed, getting bills passed into law. Look at Jasmine Crockett. Man, this girl just looks dumber than she sounds. Look at that. That ain't gonna cut it, man. That ain't gonna cut it. And that's what Stephen A. Smith was basically telling her. Shout out to my boy Sticks and Stones for the $5 holler. Salute to the bro. But yeah, it's ridiculous.
We need resistance to what we see going on in the streets of America. I asked a question. I get it now with Trump feeding into that nonsense, giving him fodder or ammunition to continue to go out there and talk about our black women that way. I got it. I don't like that at all. I don't want to be associated with nothing like that. And I apologize because I respect the hell out of Jasmine Crockett and what she has accomplished. I absolutely do. And I appreciate the fact that she feels compelled to fight the way that she's fought, the way that she fights.
But here's the thing, Stephen A. And if I was there with Stephen A., this is what I would say. I would say, Stephen A., look, man, I understand where you're coming from with it, right? But Jasmine Crockett has to be mindful and considerate of the ammunition that she is giving people to talk about black women. She has to be considerate of that. When she gets up there acting ghetto, doing her best impersonation of a 304. How is the black man going to be more concerned about the way the black woman is looked at than the black woman is concerned about the way she's looked at? If someone doesn't care about their image, no matter what you do, it will never stop them from being looked at a certain way because their actions will speak louder than you ever could. Stephen A. And the only way you're going to get this girl to change her actions and the way she's carrying herself, which in the long run hurts black people because it does a level of damn near irreparable damage to the image of black people collectively. Understand that. Shout out to you, Means. Understand that. So you apologize to Jasmine Crockett because you didn't want to give Trump, supposedly because you didn't want to give Trump ammunition to make fun of her. So now you're going to empower her and embolden her to make a fool out of all of us collectively. You see why that type of logic doesn't work? You see why that type of reasoning doesn't work? It's like somebody with badass kids. And I took my hand. It's like somebody with badass kids, right? Oh, your kid then went and shot up the neighborhood. Your kid then went and shot up the neighborhood. That's my baby. That's my don't tell me that my baby didn't do it. All that stuff. Yeah. So you defend your baby's reckless, dangerous, violent behavior, right? You protecting them, so to speak. In a way, you're protecting them. You're defending them. But you're condemning everybody else in the neighborhood to potentially get killed due to your baby's criminal behavior. And in the long run, you're condemning your baby to be hurt by his or her criminal behavior, because what's going to happen when the other gang or the other bad boys or bad girls come back and they want to get it back in blood, so now they shooting up your house. No one wins in these situations. I give you the quote every time. The problem with arguing for your limitations is that when you win the argument, you get to keep them. The problem with defending people like Jasmine Crockett is the problem with defending people like Jasmine Crockett is if you successfully defend them, you get to keep Jasmine Crockett in her current form. Now she's emboldened. She's going to get even more reckless. And women like her, what they do is they leave a scorched earth. They take this, it's a scorched earth effect. Once they pass through, no one else looking like them will ever be able to pass through again. Because the people who are on the other side will say, nah, you remember what happened last time? Why do you think you ain't seen no black person run for president since Obama? Obama sucks so bad. If the black dude try to run for president, they'll laugh his ass up out of the White House, up out of the damn wherever they do the debates. Nah, we ain't doing that again. You're gonna need about another 30 years, buddy. I'm just keeping it real. These are the things we know. But you gotta act like you know. Like the Bible say, you gotta act according to knowledge. That means you know something, act like it. Don't be like Jasmine Crockett. Know and still act ignorant. This woman's a lawyer. This woman is a lawyer. A successful lawyer at that. You think she don't know better?
Because of what she's dealing with. I've been a journalist for over 30 years. I don't want enemies. I truly don't. But I'm not here to make friends.
And there it is right there. I don't want enemies. I don't want enemies. Yeah, because I think this guy's going to try to run for office or something. I have that feeling with Stephen A., but he's not as dumb as he tries to make it out to be. He knows what's going on. Let me get this super chat. Shane. Shout out to you for the $10 holler. Appreciate that. I was Democrat. They lost the majority of the minority community when the party turned liberal. We all have kids now and don't want them learning the gay logic with pronouns, nonsense, and open borders. But let me tell you something. Do you notice that black politicians, you think they don't know what black people like? You think they don't know what black folks don't like? They know. But you know what they do? They simply refuse to discuss the issues that black people care about the most. That's all they do. They simply avoid the conversations concerning the things that black people care about the most. Let's sit Jasmine Crockett down. Let me ask you a question. Kamala Harris was like, I's black, my daddy black. Right? She was doing that whole thing. You never saw Kamala Harris have a conversation about black people and their relationship with the LGBTQ community. Black people in the weaponization of gender pronouns against us. Because, you know, black folks, we stubborn. We stuck in our ways a lot of times. We don't like to change up how we talk, and we don't like to have to adopt new sensitivities where we got to watch this and not say that. And black folks don't like to do that. We don't got a problem with you. But if it was up to black folks, we'll be still calling gay men sissies or punks, right? Over time, we had to learn and adjust to the fact that that is no longer acceptable language. But if it was up to black folks, we'll let the gay dude lead the choir at church, but we're going to be calling him a punk and a sissy the whole time, right? Not me. I've never used those words, but what I'm saying is that's just the lingo we use for that. We got no problem with you doing what you want to do, but just don't tell us how to talk. Just don't tell us how to express ourselves, because black expression has created some of the most beautiful things in this country, right? So we don't care how you express yourself. Just don't stop us from expressing ourselves. We listened to the Isley Brothers when them dudes was wearing halter tops, right? We listened to Prince while he was gyrating his hips and shaking his ass all over stage in a damn booty cheek cutout pants, right? We don't have a problem with fruity stuff. We don't. But when you start telling us how we can express ourselves, now we got to cut you. And that is exactly what the weaponization of the LGBTQ did. Now you got white people calling black people bigots. Listen to me. You have white people calling black people bigots, dog. Understand that. We invented the word, damn near. But they calling us that now. And that's where you're gonna lose a lot of black folks. So now black folks, we back on the plantation. That's why they call the Democrat Party the plantation, because now you just sit there and suffer in silence.
I'm here to call it like I see it. It should be done respectfully. It should be done with the sensitivity that it needs to be done with. I get it. I understand. But I'm going to be me. I'm going to call it like I see it. I can look Jasmine Crockett in the face and say, I'm sorry for any kind of noise I caused in your direction. Because she is accomplished and she is smart and she does have an incredible challenge working in this political climate on Capitol Hill. I got it. And when Trump came at her like that, I said, damn it. I was pissed off because I said, that's what they're talking about. When they're saying, you know what, when you question something about her, it's going to invite that. I understand. But we also need to be able to ask her questions. Just like we would ask Kamala Harris questions. Just like we would ask AOC questions. Just like we would ask Gavin Newsom questions. Just like we would ask Chuck Schumer questions or anybody else. That comes with it. It comes with it. The times that we live in, the times that we live in, the times we're living in. Yep. Absolutely true. Which is why I was screaming to get our focus away from the cancer culture and the identity politics and the kind of things that would turn off 77 million voters, which pretty much comes down to about 20 swings, 20 swing districts, if you really, really want to think about it with these elections. But that's a different story for another day. The point is, times are tight, and the slightest little thing can turn people off. And in the end, as trifling as President Trump can be, the fact of the matter is, millions upon millions of people felt that he was closer to normal than the Democratic Party. What you gonna do about that? I have a right to ask that, just like anybody else, especially since I want the Democrats to regain some power in Congress. I don't want the Republicans having the White House, Senate, and the House. I want the Democrats to have some power somewhere. I want to help. I'm not trying to hurt. And I think being quiet and saying nothing and not challenging the strategy that's been employed hurts us as a community. I have always felt that way.
Yeah, so it was a real weak backed display. It was a the apology I don't feel was necessary at all, but he clarified and explained how he does feel. He tried to retain a certain level of dignity, right? And I like that he just let her know, hey, bro, you ain't about to be punked. You ain't gonna punk me now. But I understand where you're coming from. But he still should have never apologized to her. When is she gonna apologize? That's my question. To me, your apology gives this impression that this woman has done nothing wrong. And she's done a lot wrong. She said a lot of disrespectful, insensitive stuff about a lot of people. Because the stuff she says about Donald Trump is way worse than the stuff he said about her. Oh, he's a bigot. He's a racist. He's a neo-Nazi. He's this. He's a piece of shit. He's a MFer. All types of crazy stuff she done said. When does she apologize, Stephen A? But I want to show y'all this real quick. This is where you get when you vote Democrat.
This is who Malcolm X warned blacks about, the white liberal. This is who Malcolm X warned blacks about, the white liberal. This is who Malcolm X warned blacks about, the white liberal. How you doing, man?
I'm white and I'm here.
Okay, then why you, okay, that doesn't apply to you. This is who Malcolm X warned blacks about, the white liberal. Yeah.
Trump said that his tax break would pay for itself. Should we have believed it?
You got to do your research.
But he did say that. And can you tell me what the results were?
In his first administration or this
When
administration?
When in 2016, when the tax bill was passed, the tax break, they gave all the,
They're a bunch of goons. This is who Malcolm X warned.
Hold on, let me get. I think this. Dang, is it? Hold on. Oh, here we go.
That it gave all that money to the very rich people and took money away from people at the bottom.
It didn't do that, sir.
It did that,
sir, it did not give money.
Finish my
How can a tax break give money to very rich people?
Okay, so.
I think they're a young Republican talking about you.
What's that?
They're a Republican talking about you.
Anyway, I'm going to
what?
The young Republican call us watermelon man, niggas and stuff.
A young Republican said what?
Didn't you say that?
Didn't you hear all the young Republicans were using all the racist terms?
No. Where? Show me.
It was just reported.
Show me.
Okay.
You can't show you that. Go look for yourself.
So anyway,
young Republican said what?
So, like I said,
watermelon.
Yeah.
Sir.
My question again.
Are you a Democrat?
Did you hear that?
Democrat Party is the party of slavery, Jim Crow, and KKK. That's all right? That's all right with you? That's okay with you?
You didn't hear what the young Republican said? Did you hear that?
No.
You didn't?
No.
That it gave all that money to the very rich people and took money away from people at the bottom.
It didn't do that, sir.
It did that,
sir, it did not give money.
Can I finish my
How can a tax break give money to very rich people?
Okay, so.
I think they're a young Republican talking about you.
What's that?
They're a Republican talking about you.
Anyway, I'm going to
What?
I did.
Where? Is it on YouTube?
Numerous.
YouTube?
It was network news.
When?
Yesterday, the day before.
I'll look it up. I didn't hear that. I'll look it up.
Yeah. It was horrifying.
I will look it up.
And as J.D. Vance was saying,
I will look it up, sir.
They're not kids. They were 21 to 40
All right.
years old.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, do. I mean, don't.
Yeah, so a bunch of grown men, he's asking them real questions about things that are going to affect their lives. Oh, did you hear about the young Republicans' text messages? All this stuff? Bro, as a white male, you truly believe that that these people care about what some young Republicans were saying? Go to Magic Mountain and listen what the black kids is saying. Okay? And these aren't kids, these are grown adults. I couldn't give a damn what the young Republicans are saying. They say whatever they want to. Just like what the young Democrats is saying. I don't vote the way I vote for the young Republicans. I vote the way I vote for my family. I'm voting for my family. Oh, you guys don't know about the video of Malcolm X saying to watch out for the white liberal? Who does it? Who's never seen that video? Y'all don't know that video. Yeah, the PayPal link, Neighborhood Herald. It is at the top. Let me see. I don't know what's going on with the super chats, but sometimes you just have to refresh your browser. But let me see. Let me get the PayPal link. But hey, I appreciate everybody who donates to the channel for real. Means a lot to me. The PayPal link is in the comments right now. But anyway, yeah. So I've never seen it, but I know it's gonna be some heat. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like when people talk about black Republicans, it's like I'm like, these people really don't know their history. They only know the one side of their history. Oh, and by the way, GOP leaders said that the young Republicans who said, and really it wasn't even really that degrading towards black people. It was the fact that one of the guys was like, great, I love Hitler. But what's funny to me is you got a bunch of Democrats who hate Jews. They hate on Jews. I mean, what's the difference between you and Hitler? right? But they call everyone else. So they call Donald Trump Hitler, but then call Donald Trump a bigot and a racist and all these names because he supports Israel. So he's Hitler, but he supports Israel. Their whole ideology is just a contradiction. These people are a walking contradiction. But I'm gonna shoot y'all some bail. I like that term. Shout out to Ricky. I'm gonna shoot y'all to Malcolm X. And that's why me and this brother right here, we could have a conversation because he knows what I know. And when he heard what we all heard, he listened to what was being said. You got people out here like and I hate to bring this back to No Jumper. You got people like Tam on No Jumper, right? She'll talk all this shit about me being a coon and this and that, right? And then she'll walk around with Malcolm X pins pinned to her shirt. But Malcolm X said the way that I think is the way we should all be thinking, and he said the way you think as a liberal feminist is going to lead to the destruction of our community. See, that's what I'm telling you. People, they will go against our teachers. That's what they are. They'll go against our teachers and then try to make you feel like they're a better student than you. That's the crazy part.
White liberals who have posed as our friends, white liberals who have been eager to point out what the white man in the South has been doing to us, while they themselves here in the North are doing the same thing. They have been making a great fuss.
And I'm going back because that video sounds horrible.
These are parrots that have been put in front of the Negro community by white liberals. Being friendly and being a friend, I think, are two different things. I think there are many whites who act friendly toward Negroes. A fox acts friendly toward the lamb. And usually the fox is the one who ends up with the lamb chop on his plate. The wolf doesn't act friendly, and therefore the wolf has more difficulty in getting the lamb chopped in his plate.
I'd like to point out, though, that...
I say that because it is usually if you study the structure of the Negro community, economically, politically, civically, psychologically, and otherwise, it's controlled by the white liberal, who usually poses as the friend of the Negro, who actually differs from the white conservative in the same way that the fox differs from the wolf. Their appetite is the same. Their motives are the same. It's only their mannerisms and methods that differ.
See, so he's telling you, the white liberal is going to come in smiling at you, trying to be friendly with you. But you want me to tell you what is like Malcolm X probably didn't even know this. I'm into animal everything, wildlife, biology, all that. And what I now compare the black liberal to is coyotes, right? Black liberals are like coyotes. Coyotes, they have this like trick that they'll do on regular domesticated dogs, right? You'll have a female coyote, it'll go into heat. Or it'll go into heat. They know the domesticated dog is bred to be like friendly. It is bred to be like not dog aggressive, right? Because people don't want dogs that are going to just attack other dogs randomly. So there's been documented incidences where a coyote will come, like either a female or just a regular coyote. It'll come in, it'll develop like a relationship with a domesticated dog that's left in a yard or lives on a farm and is allowed to roam freely. And it'll act friendly with that dog, right? And then it'll lure that dog out into the woods or forest, whatever. And when that dog gets out into the woods, there will be a pack of coyotes waiting for that dog, and they will all dive onto that dog and kill it and eat it. Have y'all heard of that? That is the black liberal. While the white liberal is the fox in the hen house, the black liberal is the coyote. And even though coyotes are canines just like domesticated dogs, right? Not really any difference, barely any difference. that coyote is so desperate that it's willing to prey on its own kind. It has no problem cannibalizing. That is the black liberal. That is the black feminist. That are all these black people who are like, we are so driven by our cause. We are so sold out on this like political ideology. We don't care if we even have to sacrifice other black people to get to reach our goal. I don't know if you guys have ever saw that. You know, you have YouTube. In the wild, coyotes will lure domestic dogs out to the woods, and they'll jump on them. They'll kill them. This is the liberal, the black liberal especially. I'm gonna see if I can get an example of that for you. Let me see. Coyote tries to lure puppy. Yeah, right here.
Carmen, no. No, Carmen, come here. Major! Major, come here, buddy! And this is why it's so important to have good recall. Come here, buddy, come here. I know. Come, Major, come on. Coyote right there. Go.
See, there was a coyote out there, and it's whining and yelping, you know, like this. Your dog, if your dogs are real playful, and they just like, oh, you know, and they're, you know, dogs pack up, they'll run out there and make your dog think, oh, I'm a friend, I'm yelping and I want to play, or I'm in distress. Your dog run out there, there'll be 5 coyotes out there waiting. Look.
Carmen, no. No, Carmen, come here.
And your dog want to go out there and mess with it.
Major, come here, buddy. And this is why it's so important to have good recall. Come here, buddy. Come here. I know. Come, Major. Come on. Coyote right there.
One of those dogs is a Malinois. Yeah, that coyote would have had his hands full with both of them. But it usually is not one coyote. It's usually like a pack. The other ones will be laying quiet while that one's whining and whimpering and luring you know, they're laying low. Get your dog out there. But yeah, so it's always something like that going on. Look at this. I'll show you guys this one.
Shut up.
See that?
I'm gonna stick Rex on your ass.
See?
Get him, Rex. Get that coyote.
Oh yeah, that's a Malinois too.
Get him, Rex.
This dog sucks.
Get that coyote. Come here, Freckles.
Throw the whole Malinois away. That dude said, "Get him, Rex," and that dog ran 2 steps and turned. Bro, my dogs would have been on that thing like flies on shit. If I would have said, "Get him," they would have been all over that damn coyote. But you see how it's barking and yelping?
Shut up. I'm gonna stick Rex on your ass. Get him, Rex. Get that coyote. Get him, Rex.
Give it a
Get
Rex
that coyote.
See?
Come here, Freckles.
But see how it's acting?
Come here, Freckles. Freckles! Get over here.
See, it wants that little
Freckles.
dog. See, he was on his ass. All right.
Good boy, Rex.
Sorry, I keep moving the.
Good boy, Rex. Good boy. Protect your sister. Good boy.
See,
DJ Vlad is currently involved in some major.
Anyway, so that's what I'm talking about. That's the black liberal right there. I want to be your friend. Let's play. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. It's gonna get the weak minded, and that's what you got right now. You got black folks who just don't know nothing about nothing, and they just out there just because somebody told them, "Oh, if you don't come out here, you're supporting a racist. You're supporting a bigot." It's the most ridiculous thing ever. Okay, so guys, we got time for one more, I think. Let me get this one. I have to go to Instagram. Oh, dude, Chris Brown, Kevin McCall. Have you guys heard about this? The guy Kevin McCall cried on Figmunity World saying that he was broke. He didn't have any money, and said basically that Chris Brown and the other people responsible for songs like Deuces and uh uh what's the other one? What is the other song? Deuces. I forgot the other song. But anyway, basically he said he's broke. He cried on camera saying he's broke. He's on food stamps. He don't got money to buy food. He lost custody of his daughter, right? But he came out, cried, whined, fussed, whatever, and then Chris Brown actually responded to him. I called him Chris EBT McCall. The song is Deuces, and what's the other one? There's another one, but I'm gonna go to my own damn channel. I'm gonna pull a Flocko right now. React to stuff on my own channel. And if you haven't watched this, go tap in. There are videos that are posted. Check this out. We'll give it to y'all from the beginning.
I didn't get paid for Look at Me Now. I wrote on that. I wrote a whole verse, then Busta Rhymes cut the verse off, but I still did this part. What was we talking about? I need that bread. All this shit could have been shit I could have paid for my lawyers and shit. So I just lost both of my daughters is in Atlanta right now. I don't know what the fuck is in Atlanta. I lost rights to my daughter, my oldest.
So you lost all custody.
Like my child support is $2,000, right? Deuces ain't been popping since 2012. Why is my child support $2,000? So I had all this back pay. Then I sold my catalog for $500,000. I only got $250,000 out of it. I bought my mama a house for $50,000, and then I had to pay all this child support shit off. Why was my child support $2,000? I'm not Future or none of these. Like, watch this. Why the fuck I got an EBT card? And this nigga Breezy Bro and made 90 whatever the fuck million, and it say KKKKK Max. Can I get 25,000 for them four songs I owe you, bro? I just want to leave, bro.
Leading up to who he is.
I'm not even tripping though. I got an EBT card, my nigga. Like, what the fuck, bro? I can't even get nothing, bro, man. Y'all niggas want to see a nigga cry on here, so y'all can think I'm a.
You are a bitch. This nigga begging another dude for money. Bro paid you everything he owed you. You squandered that. I mean, we know you gotta be something wrong with you. You sold your whole catalog for $500,000, and then only got half of that, which is cool. And you told us what you spent the money on. But we thought, you know what I'm saying? You made it seem like Breezy, which I don't know how you thought you was gonna go after Breezy publicly and not get no backlash. Like, the women love Breezy, bro. Like, that's over. That's out. That's a losing battle, my guy. But then Breezy responds to you. I respond to you. The world responds to you. You know what I'm saying? Because we like, if anything that you're saying is true, right? If anything that you're saying is true, then you need to go ahead and improve that. We gave you a chance to plead your case, right? But bro couldn't. And then, you know what I'm saying, Mr. gyrated Simpson shake his booty cheeks on stage, Chris Brown then came back with a response, and I'm gonna let you guys see or hear and see that.
Been that by my face with a mask like COVID, bro.
So Chris Brown says, and this was 25 minutes after all that, remember this, you can't walk across a burnt bridge, and you know what's funnier than a troll? A broke one.
I just woke up and I thought about something. If this wrote all these songs that he claiming he wrote, why he ain't write no more? Oh wait, this is just one part of my house. This is life before K-Mac and life after K-Mac. Man, I'm gonna stop playing with this. He's a bitch. Thank you, K-Mac. I bought this with your money. I bought this with your money. I bought this with your money. I was thinking about giving you this, but you a bitch. But I bought this with your money too. I bought that with your money. That's the only one on the West Coast. Oh, I bought that one with your money too. I took a shit and then I bought this car. He's looking at you so disappointed, bro. You look whack. Hey, bro, I got you, my nigga. I got this script change up. I got you this. Do your thing. Shout out to Ray J. We got you what's coming, K-Man. I just left rehearsal getting ready for this tour. And I just thought I should just keep being petty. So you know what I did? I went and bought a car. Not for K-Mac, but I bought one. Yeah, I just got mad. I was like, these man, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just keep using your money, K-Mac. I'm gonna keep using your money. Hey, you see that? Thank you, bro. I appreciate all this hard work you did, old bitch ass. I look on Instagram and I don't see him. I ask about him everywhere. I don't hear him. I don't know him. What happened, my friend? What if, you know what? I have a solution. Go to your father's house. Go to your father's house. Hey, K-Mac, you don't want to do your part? No. Oh, all right, keep going, keep going. Hold on. You're going to have to do a verse or something. No. All right. You ain't nothing but a sunshine. I'm sorry for the world. Waiting for me all the time. You ain't been to me when I find love. Don't just want to leave. Come on. When I tell her keep it drama free. Whoa.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, I don't know how you score the cars on a water fight. You know what I'm saying? You ever seen people have a water fight? I don't know. I stay out of politics.
Oh, out of politics. Thanks, Kevin.
Me, bitch ass. Oh, Count Chocolate face ass. You sleep in the fetal position, you sick man.
It's 3 in the morning. You know I'm hungry. So why don't you come over my place and put a smile on mine? If you leave in the club, girl, hurry up so we can get this party started and take off our clothes now. And I hope you hear this, 'cause it's a song I made for you.
I don't know why they put all that on there, but hey, it's just showing that these dudes are working together. And I think what the whole point of it, the argument is this: K-Mac or Kevin McCall, if my powers of telekinesis have not failed me, he just seems like a lazy ass dude. I think that's what Chris Brown is saying in so many words. Excuse me. I think that's what Chris Brown is saying in so many words. Bro don't got no work ethic. Bro don't work. Bro wants to uh uh bro wants to get paid in advance and basically not produce the music, right? That's the problem. And you got a lot of people like that. Whether they got habits, whatever, um they don't want to do the work to get to reap the benefits. And so he even said on that show, he was like, "Can I get 25,000 in advance for the 4 songs that I owe you?" Right? For the 4 songs that I owe you. So if you owe me the songs, that means you've already gotten paid for the songs, but you want $25,000 more for the songs? Because if you owe me the songs, that means you've received some type of compensation for those songs. Or either you signed a contract telling me you would produce those songs for me, right? Whether or not his best era was with Kevin McCall, go find another artist and have a good era with them. Guys, artists are a dime a dozen. Artists are a dime a dozen, bro. Like, everybody's an artist, now that we on Beyonce's internet. Okay, understand that. There's a million artists, bro. What do you mean? Creating music is simplistic, bro. I make music in my car. I'm not even joking. I'll sit in my car and just randomly rap a song and be like, oh, if I was a musician, I could put a hook and some verses and all that, and it would probably be a hit. I'm not going to lie. That's how easy it is to make music. Y'all, like, if you're a creative person, making music comes easy to you because you see inspiration everywhere you go, right? Man, listen, it ain't no excuse at this point to not it ain't no excuse to not be able to work and make a little money if you're truly talented. If anything, Chris, the work you've done with Chris Brown alone should be able to bring you a little bag, a couple bags in. But the reality is, bro probably just don't want to work. He ain't got no work ethic. That's probably what's going on here. Yeah, it's easy for me, of course. I'm not playing all that shit. But yeah, it's like, man, listen, I already talked about this on the other video, but bro, it's a lot of people with money. It's a lot of people with money who there are a lot of people with money who have EBT. That is the people especially in Cali. A lot of people just don't like to pay for food with cash. So you got people who millionaires with EBT cards. So to me, that ain't even nothing, right? He's not fooling me at all. He's lazy. Because if you did like Chris Brown said, if you did all this and that, why don't you do another one? Because Chris Brown lost Kevin just the same way that Kevin McCall lost Chris Brown. Chris Brown lost Kevin McCall, right? But Chris Brown kept making music. Donnie Draco said Chris Brown's best era was with Kevin McCall, right? That's what he said. That's what he said, right? So then guess what? Kevin McCall's best era was when he was with Chris Brown. So what he needs to do is what? He needs to go back and tap into his creative genius, right? And he needs to basically create. Work as hard as you did when you was with Chris Brown. You need to work that hard when you're alone, right? You need to work that hard when you're alone. but people don't want to do that. People don't want to do that. Let me see. Hold on. Dude, listen. I'm telling you. The hell? Let me see. Look, I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna get blocked. Hold on. Albums worth of songs. Yeah. Man, I got whole albums of shit. Hey, I was jamming. I'm just dry. But what I'm saying, the point is this, y'all. Every song is started off a concept. Once you got the concept, that's it. That's the song, the concept. And then you put whatever artist and they take it and they, you know what I'm saying? Brandon let me be the only one off the wine on here. Ah! But yeah, so stop hating. But yeah, all right. So guys, listen, that's it. Kevin McCall's a bum. I just proved it to you in real life. Like, you literally, I'm not even a musician and I can make music. Bro, just don't want to work. And it was very obvious when he came begging for money. The way to do that, Kevin, is, hey, Breezy, I know we got a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Between us, we had some bad blood. But you know what I'm saying? Ain't, you know what I'm saying? All that shit is water under the bridge. It's been shit. It's been over 10 years since they fell out. Man, let's get in here and make some music. Like, understand that with success comes fear, because you're always wondering if you're going to be able to outdo what you did, right? So it probably is at a point like this where somebody like Chris Brown will be like, dang, I gotta try to double up on, you know, I gotta try to improve upon what I just did. Breezy Bowl. Okay, let me bring that old thing back. Let's get in the studio with McCall. Let's get in the studio with whoever else. Let's take them back to 2012. You know, that could be another, that'll carry me for another 5 years. You know what I'm saying? That's how they do. But when you get on here trying to diss people and, you know, play the sob story and all that and try to make it seem like you didn't do nothing wrong and it's everybody else, man, I'm telling you, that's some of the most disgusting shit ever. Dana, bro, knock this dude out. But yeah, so I don't like that. I think that was a bullshit move by old buddy. And he's an asshole for doing that. He's an asshole for doing that and doing that on that platform, right? It is horrible. But like I said, K-Mac, you know what I'm saying? You know, you know what I'm saying? I can write you a hit, my nigga, but I do got mouths to feed. Shout out to Life Jennings. Hey, thank y'all for watching this. I appreciate everything y'all do. Dang, we had 220. Hey, don't get too spoiled off these 2 hour and 20-minute lives, because we definitely going back to the 1 hour and 30-minute mark. So be ready. Don't be surprised. But guys, I'm about to head over to a day in LA. So we gonna go do that, and hopefully I'll see y'all over there. Get in the comments on the day in LA and raise hell. I'm gonna be over there in like 2 hours. Peace.